Hey everyone, I'm going to talk to you about data center solutions. There are basically two options when it comes to data center solutions. That's either a co-location or it's a virtual server. So a co-location is essentially where a customer takes their server and they place it in a professional certified data center. So a certified data center, CenturyLink has several of these. Also, there are other people like Fibertown and others, IO, who have very large data centers. Now, what are the advantages of a company putting their server into a data center? Well, first and foremost, there's redundancy. And as opposed to having on-site at their business, the power could go out. There could be a whole variety of things that happen that is going to cause them an interruption to their services. And depending on how critical that server is to their business, it could cost them money, almost immediately. And having an amount of downtime could be catastrophic to a business. So having it in a data center where there's redundancy, there's clean power, there's disaster recovery plans in place, there's also a real-time backup that can be provided. So there are a whole group of components and reasons for you to go out there and to be able to discuss this option with a business. Now, what is the sweet spot for a business that would probably be interested in a co-location or even a virtual server? Probably 50 or more employees. It's not going to be the smaller, although that could be considered a small business. It's not going to be the mom and pop shops, if you will, that are going to be interested in a co-location concept. But it's going to be ones that probably have several locations that they have one server, where there are several of these locations tying into that one server. And that's a great option to provide them because it's one where all these different locations are relying on one server to provide them billing and things like that, billing or access to their inventory, things that literally keep their business going from day to day and cannot have any downtime. Now, a virtual server has advantages as well, and it can be a little confusing and odd to a customer to consider the option of a virtual server. It's a relatively sophisticated sale to make to a customer today, that they're able to essentially have a server and push all their information onto a server that's owned and operated by the person that is selling it in that data center, whether it's CenturyLink or someone else. But that server is owned and operated and managed by CenturyLink or whoever is selling that product, that virtual server product. Now, what are the advantages of that? Well, the advantages are it's low maintenance. All the maintenance of that server is on CenturyLink, if you will. It's on that carrier that is selling that virtual server product. They don't have to do anything to maintain that. That's on us. Also, another advantage is they're going to be able to take advantage of Class A, Grade A servers, as opposed to bringing their possibly older or out-of-date server from their business and locating it in a data center itself and co-locating it there, or even worse, just keeping it at their current place of business. The other good thing about a virtual server is that it's relatively instantaneous to start. You can go online, whether it's to Amazon Web Services or to CenturyLink or to IO or someone else, and you can essentially get a virtual server started almost immediately. And you can decide how much your CPU powers, how much CPU you need, how much memory you need, and things like that, and how powerful of a server do you need, and how much storage you need. So all those things can be given to you almost instantaneously, so the setup time is almost in near real time, which is fantastic. The last thing that's great about a virtual server is it's a subscription price model. You don't have to go out there and pay for a $20,000 server and then maintain it. You actually just begin to pay a subscription fee and use it. And it's really great because all the upgrades, that expensive technology is on the seller to keep that up. So you can save that money or use that money on different things that you're wanting to spend on. So it's an operational expense as opposed to a capital expense. So you don't have to try to save up all that cash or take all that cash and pour it into a brand new server that's going to be out of date in 2 years. So it's actually a very powerful concept that is very sellable to a lot of businesses today that are cash starved, and there are many out there. I can promise you that because I run into them all the time. And it's a great way for a business to transform itself and essentially position itself in a data center where they don't have to worry about having any kind of downtime with servers that would end up, if they end up crashing, it could potentially put their company out of business. And that's especially true for any kind of serious web-based business. Sorry about that, I got a little tongue-tied. But essentially, any serious money-making web-based business should always be in a certified data center. Other certifications cover a variety of things, of exactly the power it's bringing in, the cleanliness of the power, the redundancies that are involved in the data center itself, and also the disaster recovery plans. What kind of generators do they have to keep things going if their main power is cut? Those kind of things. But you should always be in a professional data center if you have an online business making a significant amount of money. It's just worth the cost. So at any rate, I want to tell you about these things because these are becoming more and more important as we go into our digital society. And these are things that businesses are becoming very aware of, that they're going to begin to have to take that server out of that closet and put it into a data center, or even better, get a virtual server and just keep that older one in the closet as literally a failover in the event something else happens. But literally, it's better just to scrap it all together in that closet, or co-locate it in a data center, have a virtual server, and have those one of the two act as a failover. So that's all I have for you, but I hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next one, okay?